So that's a new feature that Zoom has, and it's kind of creepy, but you're welcome. You got to experience her voice saying that our call is being recorded. All right, girls, welcome to our call tonight. And we are so excited to have this kickoff call. It's kind of the first time that we've ever done something like this, but it's also the first time we've really done like a super laser focused challenge group like we are about to kick off for June. And we are so excited to kind of bring some tips and tricks to you all that have helped us. Kate and myself, and I believe Carrie is still on path, yes, have been doing 75 hard now for today is day 60. We all started together. Carrie actually started a week ahead of us. And she's like, oh, I'll restart with you guys so we can all be on the same week. So we are 60 days in. And a lot of you have had interest in kind of our modified version, if you will, of 75 hard. So we thought that we could bring some tips, just general mindset for you tonight, but also share some things that have really helped us planning out to stay on path and be successful within this journey. Because the reality is it's going to stretch you outside of your comfort zone. And if you talk to me personally to get into this group, I said, look, like this is a modified version, so it's very doable, but it is still very focused, right? There are still some things that are going to require you to plan ahead or look ahead in your day so that way you can stay on track. And this isn't necessarily just about losing weight or like having these crazy, insane results. It's more about proving to yourself that you can lead a healthier lifestyle long term if we take the time to plan ahead and kind of make a roadmap for where we're going. So we figured if we start with 30 days, it seems more doable. We modified the rules or the guidelines a little bit so that we're pushing for a gallon of water a day, but if you're at least getting in half of your body weight in ounces a day, that makes it more doable. And then the second workout. So we are asking that you follow one Beachbody program. We don't care what program you're doing. There is a very good handful of us that are going to do 30-day breakaway. So if you want to participate in that, you're more than welcome, but you can do whatever. So you do one Beachbody workout, and then 5 days a week, you are going to do a workout outside. Maybe it's go for a walk. Maybe it's play volleyball with your kids. Maybe it's jump on the trampoline. I will not be doing that because that is not good for post babies. Sometimes it means yard work. Like I counted when we were moving all of our landscaping stone because I did it for over an hour. Like that totally counts. If you ride horses, that counts. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you took weights outside and you did like a super intense workout. It's just we're encouraging you to get outside, soak up some sunshine and maybe some rain, even if there's rain, because y'all, we have walked in snow and super cold weather up here in Ohio when we started this, okay? It's encouraging you to step outside your comfort zone and do something outside, some sort of physical activity, okay? If you have any questions that kind of pop up in your head, they might be addressed tonight, but I would love for you to put them in the chat. So like if you scroll to the bottom, there should be a little bar that comes up and it says chat. Please type in anything that you have questions about, concerns you're unsure of, and we'll be more than happy to address that for you. But tonight we are going to bring some mindset kind of empowerment to you. We are going to talk about personal development. We are going to talk about planning ahead. And we are also going to talk about planning ahead and keeping on track during the weekend, because when we fall out of that weekly routine, it's a little easier to fall off path, right? Like how many of you have struggled with, I'm really good Monday through Friday with my routine, and then come the weekend, it's like, right? It's because we lack that routine and structure. So it's easier to kind of get pulled in different directions. We are just asking you to keep an open mind, to believe in yourself that you can do this, because it's really freaking empowering when you get a couple days in and then you're a week in and then you're 10 days in and then you're 2 weeks in. It's like being at day 60, we've talked so much, and I'm doing this because the girl that's up there, Caitlin, is literally sitting right there in my kitchen. But we've talked about this so much about the fact that we really don't miss the cheat meals because we feel so good. We really don't miss the alcohol. Our mindset is totally different because we've gotten very disciplined, and it just feels really good to feel where we are. So to like think about how tired and sluggish you feel when food maybe isn't great, or maybe you had a couple alcoholic drinks or whatever, it kind of sways you to be like, I don't really want to go back to feeling like that because it really doesn't feel all that awesome, right? So I am going to start with personal development, and Kate is going to wrap up with mindset, because this journey, your lifestyle, losing weight, creating healthier habits for yourself, all stems from here, right? It all stems from what we believe we can and can't do. And you've probably heard the whole, if you believe you can, you will. If you believe you can't, you won't. It's so true, because when we don't believe that we can do something, we will look for all the excuses of why it's too hard, why it's not going to work, why we're not going to be able to stick with these rules or these guidelines for 30 days. You're going to find all of those reasons why not to. But when you believe that, like, I'm just going to take each day in stride and do my very, very best, and I can do this, I can create change, you're going to look for all the positive steps forward. You're going to look for the things that empower you. Like, yes, I drank that gallon of water today. I was limited on time, but I planned ahead and I made sure that I got my outdoor workout in. All of those little things are what keep us going long term, right? Is empowering. So I want to do a little exercise just to kind of show how this works. I want you just really quickly to look around you and find all the things that are around you that are white. So just like look around the room that you're in and find all the things that are white. Okay. How many things did you see that were red? Probably not very many, right? Unless you're at home and you know that there's something nearby, right? Because you are looking for the white. So if you look for the reasons why you can't, you are absolutely going to find them, and your brain is going to justify why it's too hard, why you've done enough, and why you can kind of relax on your goals, okay? But when you look for the reasons why you can, you will find those reasons, okay? So because this is so much about mindset, personal development is so key to helping empower your mind and helping shift your mindset to seeing more of those positive things in your life. And while I am a huge advocate of audio when it comes to personal development, because it is very easy, especially if you are a very busy mom and just life, whatever, I still listen to a lot of audio, but one of the guidelines in 75 Hard is to read, to sit down and physically read 10 pages. Okay, 10 pages. If you aren't falling asleep like I was the other morning, you can get 10 pages done in about 15 minutes. Okay, so 15 to 20 minutes. We have a whole lot of options. So if you are new to personal development, you want something new, or you want something to start with, or you want something new, whatever, we are more than happy to make recommendations for you. I'm just going to name off a couple, and I actually will make a post too about this so that you guys know. I am currently, you don't have to start with this. It's not really one I recommend starting with, but I'm currently reading Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. If you do not follow him on social media, I highly recommend checking out a couple of his YouTube videos. This dude has gone through a horrible beginning in life and made something big of himself. He is the 36th African-American male to ever become a Navy SEAL. He is incredible. If you want to be lifted up and like get your shit together and like be set on fire, go listen to some of his YouTube stuff. But some books that I do highly recommend starting with, You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. She has another one that's Badass Habits. It's a good short book. I made a whole list. Atomic Habits is a really good one. I don't recall who is the author. I can't think of who the author is of that one right now. The Slight Edge, which I believe is Jeff Olson. That's my favorite. Yeah, so I have that one over there. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my bookcase so I can name them off. Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. She also has Girl Stop Apologizing, which is a great one. And Grace Not Perfection by Emily Lay is one of my favorites. And then one more really good one for mamas is Progress Not Perfect or Progress Over Perfect. Or Present Over Perfect. I'm sorry, Present Over Perfect. And that's by, that's on my tablet. I don't remember who that's by. But those are some really good ones to start with. If you have read some of those and you want something different and fresh, let us know, because literally my entire Audible library and my bookcase is full of books. We can make a recommendation for you. But making sure that you set that time aside. For me personally, the only way I get my reading done is making sure I do it first thing in the morning before I work out. That's part of my morning routine, is getting that reading done first thing, because if I wait until it's bedtime, like when I sit down to go to bed, I'm done, right? It's time to go to sleep and I click out. So find when it's going to work for you and your schedule. So that's all I have on personal development. If you have questions on that, please let us know in the chat. I think I'm passing it to Mindy, right? Yeah, I'm passing it off to Mindy, and she's going to talk about planning ahead.
Okay, so I'm Mindy. If you do not know me already, I am like the master planner. Like, that is my thing in life that I love to do. Like meal plan, any kind of planning, like that's my favorite. So me personally, I actually started 75-day hard with these girls and made it about 2 weeks, and then failed because of a misstep in planning, and started again, made it about 2 weeks, and then failed because of a misstep in planning. So I have some experience that planning is going to be key, extremely key. Even the first time that I fell off, we were going camping and I thought I had all my ducks in a row, and I didn't think about the fact that we were camping and I don't have indoor plumbing at my camper. And so the water became an issue. So like, you got to be thinking about these things. So make sure that you're kind of like getting your mind right. We're going to talk about mindset later, but you're trying to think of like the little details, because there are going to be those little details and things that could easily throw you off track that you want to try to get ahead of. So first, obviously, meal planning is going to be a big piece, especially if you have like some sort of event or something that's coming up. Like maybe you've got a graduation party or a birthday party or a cookout or something you're going to. All these things you can still be successful. You just have to plan ahead. So when you're thinking about the meal planning part of it, thinking about, are you going to follow 2B mindset or are you going to follow ultimate portion fix? Does that mean that you're prepping food ahead or you're making it day of? Does that mean if you're going somewhere, you're going to pack food with you, or there's going to be something there that is going to fall in your meal plan? Like, just be thinking about those things so that you kind of have that in the back of your mind to help set you up for success. When it comes to workouts, like Corey mentioned, we want to make sure that we're following some sort of Beachbody workout and then doing the outside workout piece. So be thinking about, what's the weather going to look like? I know there's days that these girls have had to do 2 workouts almost back to back because it was going to be rainy in the afternoon. They had some sort of event or activity for their kids' sports in the afternoon or something like that. So be thinking about that when you choose your program. There are some programs out there like 30-day breakaway that are 30 days. If you're going to choose something longer or shorter, how is that going to work? If you're going to choose, say, 21-day fix or muscle burns fat, are you immediately going to jump into the extreme or the advanced version after that? So you have 30 days of workouts. You don't want to wake up one morning and think, holy crap, what am I going to do for my workouts today because my program ended yesterday? So that's a pretty easy one, but be thinking about that. You have a couple more days if you haven't decided yet what you want to do. Think about, so we are making this one a little bit easier and allowing 1 cheat meal or treat per week and 1 alcoholic beverage per week. So maybe you do have a celebration you're going to, or a cookout or barbecue. Be thinking about that. Maybe you're going to plan that you're going to use your cheat meal or your beverage at a cookout or something like that. So think about that kind of stuff. Don't blow it on Monday when you know that you have like a birthday party Friday night, or you're going to meet friends out Friday night or something like that. Utilize those things that we have, because that's going to help you stay on track as well. So you don't have to think, okay, well, shoot, I just wasted it. Now I'm falling off track because I don't have something to fall back on. So that's big. When it comes to your water, another thing to help with planning there is like myself, Corey, I know for sure, have these very large jugs of water that we just carry around with us everywhere. That helps a lot. Planning ahead, keeping you on task, that you're going to have your water with you, that you know how much you're drinking throughout the day, like all those things are going to help keep you on track. So I would say probably all of it's important. The mindset's important, personal development's important, but I truly think that like the planning piece is going to be like the most important, at least in the first couple of weeks, because that's when you're setting your routine. That's when you're kind of getting in, like, setting your habits and getting things going. And then when it starts to get hard, weeks 2 and 3 and 4 possibly, then that's when the more the mindset and that kind of stuff's going to come into play. So those are some of my tips. I know Katie's going to talk a little bit more about weekends, so she'll probably have some additional tips that'll include planning ahead. But I'm going to go ahead now and pass it over to Selena.
Hi, everybody. So some of you probably don't know me. I'm pretty new to coaching, but I am very excited to start with 30 Strong, specifically because of the guidelines. And just being able to challenge myself with daily tasks to be able to say, I got these accomplished. So I am going to talk just a little bit about leaning into the group and how it has helped me tremendously to have a group of women to check in with every day. It was honestly one of the reasons why I joined Beachbody in the first place, was because I felt a shift in a desire to work on fitness and health and nutrition. And I didn't have anybody to really to share those things with in my life, or to talk about or ask questions to, because I didn't have anybody working on the same type of goals as me. So I lean into a lot of the girls in this group for that reason specifically. And so one of the other great things that it helps me with is I get really excited about things, and I have a lot of positivity, and it's almost an outlet to me, to where I can go and hype people up when I'm getting excited about, or when I get my workouts in and I go and look and see other people, like I get excited about it. So it gives me like an outlet to share my excitement, but also receive a tremendous amount of positivity back at me. So again, it's kind of like an outlet of, you just share positive things about everybody, and it's uplifting and encouraging. And honestly, the accountability and the motivation that I get from the group is probably the most important. So having a group to check in with each day to say, yep, I did this, I did this, I did this, and maybe I didn't do this. June's going to be a little bit different, because obviously we want everybody to get these, accomplish these tasks every day. Which again, I'm super excited about. But when there's times where it's 7 o'clock at night and I may not have gotten my workout in, and I go to check in, or to, instead of going to social media, I go to Beachbody and see how everybody else did for the day. And it honestly, scrolling and seeing that everybody else got their workout done, it motivates me to say, you know what, you're not doing anything for the next 30 minutes. Get up and let's get it done. And then again, the positive feedback that comes from it is just super encouraging to put out and also receive. And so I encourage everybody, even if you don't do things, or you do things, to go in, check in daily. It helps you show up for yourself. But again, for me, I want to show up for everybody else too. I want to say, yes, I did this. Like, I know people are watching and checking in and seeing that I'm doing these things or not. So it gives me a reason to show up for everybody else, but also for myself, and just a place to document, did I get all of these done? So I recommend, if you're, a morning person, I'm working on becoming a morning person and doing all of my things in the morning, but sometimes that doesn't happen for people, until the evening. So whenever it might work best for you. Set yourself an alarm every day to check in, to go to Beachbody, log your stuff, and send some love and support to everybody in the group and encourage everybody to keep going through. And if you're having a hard day, post about it. There's times where, again, hopefully not in June, but in other times when I go silent for a few days, I feel the need to explain to people like, hey, sorry, I've been MIA. I'm ready to get back into it. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I'm back ready to go. So we're here to support all of you, and we all support each other. So just go every day and show up and log what you did, log what you didn't do, and let us know if you ever are having troubles or want to, questions or chats, or we're all here for the same reason. So utilize it and have fun with it. It's exciting. And that's it.
I think I'm next. Thank you, Selena. Checking in with the group is awesome. I love it. So I'm going to share a couple tips on weekends. And I made notes for myself so that I don't go crazy and ramble. But kind of piggybacking on what Mindy said, I think, a lot of us get so much into this routine over the weekend or during the week. Sometimes, we nail that Monday through Friday. And if you don't have, we think about what we need to plan to get through the week. And then we get to the weekend and it's kind of like some of us just go, okay, I made it through the week and now I can relax. And if you don't have a plan to get through the weekend as well as through the week, that's where it's just so easy to fall off. So making a plan, and my recommendation is don't wait until Friday night to make your plan, because Friday, I don't know about everybody else, but Friday I'm exhausted and that is when I'm going to do my worst planning. So if I wait until Friday night to plan for the weekend, I'm probably not going to be a very good planner for myself. So try to make your plans for the weekend when you are actually going to make good plans for yourself. So maybe that is Sunday. Maybe Sunday you plan until, the next Sunday, or maybe Monday, or maybe it's Wednesday. But make sure that you plan when you're going to be a good planner. And then once you have that plan, share it with somebody. I think sharing it and keeping yourself accountable outside of yourself is super helpful. So whether that's posting in the group, especially if you have something difficult coming up, hey, I've got this event this weekend and I'm kind of, here's my plan for it. Does anybody have any other suggestions? Or just putting it out there that this is the thing that's going to be challenging for you and this is how you're going to overcome it. You're going to be a lot more motivated to stay accountable to it if you've put it out there to other people. So just share it, share your plans. Don't tuck them all, keep them all inside, because, it's a lot easier for us to not stay accountable to ourselves. And so I think sharing that helps. The other thing is with weekends, I think we can get so off of our routines on the weekends because everything, things are just different than during the week for a lot of people. So maintaining some sense of your normal routine can be really helpful. And it obviously doesn't have to be the same as your Monday through Friday, but trying to eat your meals at similar times. So because our bodies get used to those routines, trying to keep your sleep schedules somewhat similar. Like, I don't get up at 5:00 every, weekend morning. I like to sleep in a little bit, but, maybe sleeping in is until like 7 for me. And I'm still, I'm not going to bed super late. And so your body is still kind of operating within that routine window. I know the other thing for me personally, like if I stay up late, I'm a lot more likely to want a snack. So for me, part of staying on track on the weekends is going to bed, so that I don't get all snacky and hungry at 11 o'clock at night and then throw everything off. If you do have stuff coming up, like Mindy said, making sure that you're looking at your calendar. And if you do have something coming up, and you are going to go somewhere, take the time to actually look and see what's going to be offered, for food. If you're going to a restaurant and you're not going to use that meal as your one treat meal, take time to look at the menu, take time to ask whoever's house you're going to, hey, what's the plan for food? And if it's not going to work for you, then take your own food. Make a plan to take your own food. Take your own veggies. Take your own water. Take your shake. Eat before you go. Those are all things that can help you. Maybe you're going to have a little bit of what's offered because you've got a yellow left. So you're going to have, if you're doing portion fix, maybe you've saved your yellow for something at the barbecue, but maybe you need to eat a big salad before you go. So just having that forethought of planning out your food ahead of time. And then I think a huge one is when you're thinking about weekends, identify what your personal weaknesses are, because it's not all going to be the same. Like, we're all going to struggle with different things on the weekends. Some people are going to nail food on the weekends and it's going to be a piece of cake, and exercise is going to be harder for them to fit in, and then vice versa. I know for me personally, my notes went away. For me personally, one of my biggest struggles on weekends is if I'm traveling and I want to eat in the car. Like, it's like I get in the car and all of a sudden I'm hungry, even if I've just eaten. So I make sure that I plan good snacks to take in the car. Like, I'll grab a bag of just vegetables. I love those little like mini sweet peppers because they're crunchy and sweet, and you can just eat them in the car. And if you eat like a whole bag of them, it's not really that terrible. I also plan to drink my shake in the car. So identify what your triggers are. Maybe you don't have a problem in the car, maybe you don't have a problem going to your parents' house, but it's, wanting to order out on Friday night that's challenging for you. But identify that specific thing for you so you can plan for that. My other things were, find other ways to reward yourselves. I know for me personally, I've always struggled with wanting to reward myself with food. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the weekends for me, because it's like, yay, you got through the week and you did so good during the week. You have earned this, ice cream or whatever. And seeing the food as the reward, it makes us feel like we've earned it and we deserve it. And then you start, and sometimes it's hard to stop. And maybe you've already used your treat meal. So find other things that you can reward yourself with that are not food based. I know for me, that's been really huge. And maybe that's, sleeping in an extra hour, or, buying yourself something that you've been wanting if you make it through, once you make it through a weekend, or just finding those different ways. And then the last thing I'm just going to say is thinking about how you want to feel after the weekend has finished. I think that's really important, to focus on how you want to feel come Monday morning, or like this coming weekend, come Tuesday morning. Like, how do you want to feel when you wake up Monday morning to do your workout? Do you want to feel like you're strong and you're fresh and you're ready to go because you fueled your body all weekend long and took care of yourself? Or do you want to feel sluggish and like tired and whatever else, the not so great food can make us feel like? I think focusing on that goal of how you're going to feel can help us a lot more than just something like, whether or not you lost or gained a pound over the weekend. Those feelings and how we feel good is a lot more important, I think, than what the scale might say. I think that's it. Try not to go over my time.
All right, guys. So I am wrapping this up. I'm winging this, and I am at a point where, like, if I stare too long at a specific spot, like, I'm going to fall asleep with my eyes open. So bear with me. I am talking a little bit about mindset, and I kind of don't really want to talk about, like, yes, like, we want to hype you up for this, but like, you guys are here, like, you're showing up for this call, whether you're listening to it now or you're listening to the recording. So like, you've got skin in the game, like, you're here, like, you decided to do this. I know, like, when I initially started doing 75 hard, Corey like semi twisted my arm to get me to do that. Simultaneously, Katie twisted my arm to do 30-day breakaway. So like, I caved to some serious peer pressure, and I wasn't like super excited about it at first. I'm not gonna lie. So when it comes to a mindset for this, the reason you guys are here is most likely because you are wanting to become more consistent, whether that is becoming more consistent with your workouts or maybe it's with food. I know for me, like I am set with workouts 24/7. Like I am good with that. Food, I mean, we have to deal with food a lot more throughout the day than we do with a workout. You can knock out a workout in like 30 minutes. Food is all day long. So it's most likely why you're here is because you're looking for a challenge when it comes to consistency. And I think something that you need to expect out of the gate with this is that it's going to get inconvenient at times. And it just is going to be what it is. That is why you're here. And that is part of why, I mean, the whole point of 75 hard, I mean, yes, like everybody gets all like rah about like 2 workouts and all of that. You guys, like when I have a rest day, my 2 workouts are 45 minutes of stretching and then I take my kid for a walk. Like those are my 2 workouts. So like it's not necessarily about the physical aspect of it as much as it is about the mental. And I think the whole point of this, even though we're doing a modified version of this, the whole point of this is that it is going to be times where it's inconvenient. And you are going to have times where, you know, yes, like the like planning tips, all of that is great. And I think it's super important that you take all of those tips to heart. Another pro tip, drink all of your water before 7 o'clock at night, because I just chugged 130 ounces since like 6:30 till right now. And I'm going to be up all night long. But like, there's going to be times where you're just going to have to do it. And that's what the group is for. Like all of these ideas we've had, that we've been talking about, like leaning into the group and planning and all of that, that is all there to like help you like set your foundation for this. But then you are going to just need to do the dang thing sometimes. Like, yes, like I think tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day. We're gonna have to get outside no matter what. Like we're just gonna have to do it. And I promise you this, as much as it may feel like a little bit of a challenge at first, I don't know, like there is something to be said about like, because I have had to like take walks out in the rain and, you know, and I remember one time I had texted Corey and like, oh, I still get my outdoor workout in, and it was like 9 o'clock at night because they got away from me. While it may not be like the thing you're really wanting to do at that point in time, you get done with it, there is such an insane feeling of accomplishment with it that I think you kind of get a high off of. Like you start to really crave that feeling. So I think that's something that you all will be experiencing as long as you lean into this first initial little bit of like, wow, what have I gotten myself into? Because honestly, I feel better than I have ever. And I started doing this feeling a little hesitant about all of it. So I think another thing to have a focus with mindset, which is something that I don't want this to come off negatively at all, but just remember why you're here. And remember that you have this group of people that are here to support you and love you. And we're all going to do this together, because you are going to have people that are going to be like, why are you doing this? They're going to be like, it's raining. Why are you going for a workout? Or, you can eat this food, like it'll be fine. Like you are going to get questions like that. And sometimes I think we can get in our heads with that kind of stuff. So just like be ready to tune out any potential noise and, really lean into the group. And then as far as, to close with this, seriously, you guys, from personal experience, I feel freaking amazing. Like I promise you, if you really lean in with this, whether I know a lot of you are going to be doing the modified version, I think there's like a handful of you that are going to be continuing or starting with the full version, regardless of what you're doing, you are going to feel better. And you're going to get to a point, I can promise you that Caitlin from 2 months ago, I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning. I drove 11 hours in a car with a 3-year-old, came in, literally threw my kid at Corey and immediately worked out. And then I took an hour to cool down, and then I went out and did my outdoor run. And it just wasn't that big of a deal. Like you just do it. Like you'll get to the point where you just do it, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a little click that happens in your brain that like just makes this whole health thing like way easier. And yes, like the results, like, I mean, I don't know, I've lost, I think like 20 some pounds, but like the physical results are going to be there, but like the mental results, like brain fog, just feeling more, speaking of brain fog, there goes my brain. When it comes to you like that, when it comes to food, like you don't really realize like how much food like pulls you down, like even like when it's just on a weekend. So I think getting through that initial hard and just working on your mindset, really leaning into personal development, really leaning into everything that everyone has had to say here tonight is going to be monumental. And if you are, last thing before I'm done, if you are going to be coming up on a day that's going to be harder, maybe you have a birthday party to go to, or maybe, I know like for me, like I gave everybody a heads up because today was by far the most challenging day I've ever had to date with 75 hard. Like let everybody know, so that you have like all these cheerleaders in your back pocket to be like, you've got this, like we're here for you. So don't be afraid to really lean in on that. And I don't know if you have anything else, but we're super, super freaking excited to do this with you guys. And this, like, we were talking about this earlier, this kind of started as just like a little conversation, like, oh, it'd be so much fun to like do a group with everybody and like to see all of your beautiful faces here. And like, we're actually doing this dang thing. I'm super excited. Like, I can't wait to see, we should do a recap call after 30 days and see how everybody feels, because I guarantee you're all going to feel freaking amazing. So that's all I got.
I like it. We're totally doing that. That would be perfect. Yes. All right. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Seriously, if you ever have questions, just ask. Ask in the group if you're comfortable enough. And I encourage you to go there first, because you're going to get the response of all of us coaches, not just one person that you're connecting with, and everybody else rallying with you. This isn't like, the group isn't just for us to post in or for us to check into. Like, utilize that, because I promise you, every person that really leans into a challenge group and connects with other people who are working towards similar goals or working on a similar path, they all do better because they connect with like-minded people and they feel encouraged and they know that they have others supporting them and who will have their back. So we're really excited. As of this afternoon, there were 42 of you taking this challenge. And I know for a fact there are a couple more still coming. So like Kate said, like literally she came to Mindy and I in our text thread and was like, I think we should do a modified version of 75 hard. And we were like, okay, let's do this. And then all of a sudden, like this thing just like blossomed, and we're just really, really excited to help you guys get a little bit more focused. Yeah, do that too. And rock some awesome goals in June and feel really, really good. So we're excited. We will start on Tuesday. So the post will start on Tuesday. Make sure you make your plan, okay? Know what program you're starting with. Have an idea of what you're doing with your nutrition and having a meal plan there. Know what personal development you're doing. Know what your schedule looks like for this coming week. Good. What it looks like for this coming week, so you know when you can do your outdoor walks. I typically look at, okay, what is our schedule with baseball and the kids and life, and then what does the weather look like, and where do I need to squeeze in the outdoor, and then I can always squeeze in the indoor, right? So we love all of you. We are super, super excited. We hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on with us. We cannot wait to start with you on Tuesday. So have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you next week. Have a good night, girls. If I can stop. It won't let me stop recording.